Classic example of having that teacher back at probably intermediate level. You know, 14, 13. Just one of those teachers that just seemed to, you know, it was, yeah, art was the thing for me. So it's one of those guys that got through school on art alone, you know. But then boarding school, and then again, another teacher that just seemed to come along at the right time and for the next phase, you know. School C, bursary, then on to art school. In the early 90s, went down to Canterbury and just university, and I was there, met some good people, and really didn't do a lot of painting, but that's all I did want to do. But I left in my final year, and so it was 3.5 years there. So had a couple of good tutors that, you know, they were old school. It was just about painting, a lot of theory and stuff, but not a flash experience, but it was enough to give me a taste for what I wanted to do, which was just paint, which was kind of a little bit obsessive for about 10 years after uni, before I actually started doing it full time. Yeah. So it was landscapes first, for about 5 years, working on the farms here in Rotorua, and then all this abstract work started happening and coming through in the work a lot stronger, but still based on landscapes. Oh, about 2008, yeah, I did 10 of them. I had a lot of energy then. Yeah, that was a good year, you know. I think it was just starting, I was down in the basement, and it was like the perfect work environment. So, high stud, so I could decide to sew some of these canvases together and go large. Basically just to see what would happen, you know, so, and it was great. Great experience, always at the end of a ladder, or, you know, all of them have been stretched on timber, but also fresh from landscape, so that one was probably the closest to a formal landscape. And it took 3 months to sort of get through out of the system, because it just never, it was a large camp, that's the largest, but still not large by world standards, but still, yeah, a lot of fun. You know, spray cans and just, but always falling back onto something that's quite grounded. And that's the way I'm working now. I feel quite grounded working like that, as opposed to the guy next door, this large pink thing, is just sort of at the other scale again, you know. It was actually Janice Giles who purchased one when I decided to get them out of the chest of goodies that we have, that we put away out of sight, out of mind, projects that we don't finish. She purchased one, and so I decided to finish the project off, and finally put all the books in behind glass and in frames, and just that whole suggestion of antiques, antiquity and museums, kind of, you know, you go into a museum and they have all that. But which also carried the project on to its final stages of, it got me drawing again with the pencil and in plaster and over collaged bits of old books that I was ripping up. It was good, it freed me up. And that's feeding the work now even. Something positive again, so not always nice to finish a project off, you know. It's very deeply personal, but at the same time it is just a wonderful play with materials and building things, as opposed to and getting away from the colour that happens in the painting on the other side. So You know, that is suggestive of that they can open, but they can't. You know, we're often closed books ourselves, so a lot of that, yeah. And just the white on, you know, just, yeah. And letting the pencil do its work in the end of the project where I was just drawing in plaster, wet plaster, and seeing for the first time in a long time what was happening in that mark making compared to the canvas, so yeah. Some books that I was actually using in the work were like the marketing gurus in the 50s in America. It was just funny reading, you know, what some artists just aren't good at today, marketing, and just propaganda and some really strange reading, you know, from an era which is that we almost paint from today, so yeah. Stepping forward to something else. Always nice to get a break from the painting itself. And that's what I enjoyed most about them, was building these almost contraptions where, yeah, very ideas based, but still looking for something else in the painting itself through another medium on glass, just the whole transparency of stuff. Because in painting, we don't see a lot of what goes on a canvas sometimes when you're seeing it in a gallery. At the end of a really good session in painting, I was approached by Janice and yourself about the idea of having a show over in Tauranga, and would see if Gallery 59 would be able to do it, and all of us, it just happened really. Yeah, they came over and chose from the work that was all laid out. I certainly couldn't decide because I was still in the middle of painting. So it was a good experience too, to have that stuff out of sight, out of mind. So I could continue painting really, and it just happened to be put into a show over there, which has worked out really, really well. It's nice seeing the stuff under some, the work under some proper lighting. I think Lynette's did a great editing, and along with Janet. So I am banking on the show in terms of getting rid of a few people off my shoulders, but that's what it's like. You just got to keep, yeah. Prolific is probably what I've been more known for in the past, just always working, searching, you know. So this one, it's just like, it's very, also discovering sienna brown again and letting that orange happen. Getting away from the blues and really autumn, which is a favourite time of year for me, always has been.